welcome back to Lord of the Rings Adventure to Mount Doom. Let's get moving to Mount Doom. Alright, 2 black dice, and this time we're going to have Legolas who's behind. We'll do Legolas, and let's do Legolas and Gimli. There we go. So we're going to the green for Legolas, the red for Gimli. Let's get to the dice tray and roll up our movement. Alright, let's roll up our dice, and we get a 3, 5, 4, and a 1. Alright, let's get to the board and allocate those dice. Well, this is an easy choice, because 3 is Treebeard, and we want to grab him for sure. And 1 will take Legolas, can't quite see it, directly into Helm's Deep, giving us a courage back. So that's simple. So now we've got our black die, we have Gimli, and let's add Aragorn in the mix, and let's roll these up. Alright, let's get rid of these, and we get a 1. Yes! Oh, this is so good. A 1, a 4, and a 5. Alright, let's get allocating these dice. And this is awesome, because we know the 1, we've already looked at it, because the Gandalf card is Faramir! Right on. Now we have to decide if we want Aragorn going 4 or 2, 3, 4. Takes him to... both of these are safe spots. Let's go ahead and move Gimli up ahead 5. Alright, time to start looking at the dice. Alright, well, easily done. The 3 is right here, and that's going to give us Treebeard. So we can either gain 2 courage, or place the Treebeard token in Isengard. From now on, for every battle, 1 in Isengard, remove an Uruk-hai, and ultimately remove their chieftain. Ooh, so we can ultimately whittle down all the Uruk-hai, possibly get rid of them. We do have an Uruk-hai at 4. I wonder if we should think about doing that. Alright, but anyway, right now we're going to take Legolas. He's going to move 1. That takes him directly to Helm's Deep. We get a courage back. We're almost back to our starting location. Next up is the 1 die. 1 on the black die, and we know 1 was Faramir, so we get him. Before your turn, advance the ring bearer 2 to 4 spaces. We have a ton of allies now. Gandalf card, very, very cool. I'm liking it. And lastly, we have 5 here for Gimli. So let's zoom up to the board. He's going to be zooming 5 spaces. Getting a little trickier to film now because things are getting farther away. So Gimli's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's on his way to Gondor. All right. Of course, 2 black dice. And then I think we are going to go ahead and do Legolas and Aragorn, and get them moving ahead of Frodo and Sam. Let's get to the dice tray. Alright, roll up time. We get a 2 and a 3. And, oh, this is awesome. Wow, we're getting good luck. I should never have said that. Alright, let's go allocate the dice. Alright, you can see the top of the board a little bit here. We don't want the 2 because that's orc hordes that we have to fight, but the 3 lets us move Gimli 0, 1, or 2. Well, that's awesome. And then we're going to move Aragorn along 4 after that. Alright, so we got Legolas, we got the black die, and we're going to take the fellowship, or not, I keep calling it fellowship. Frodo and Sam are going to be rolled this time. Alright, let's roll these up and get allocating those. Alright, 3 dice. And we get a... Ooh! We get the 4. Alright, let's allocate these. Well, this is going to be an Uruk-hai battle. Now, do we want to put... I don't think we want to use Treebeard. I think we're going to keep Treebeard to get our courage back if it gets in really bad trouble. So we're just going to suck it up. We're going to fight the Uruk-hai. Everybody is ahead of and on not beyond Gondor, so that should be okay. And we can take Legolas 1, 2, 3, 4, or we can take... Yeah, we're going to take Legolas, whoops, 4 as I flip the dice around. Where's the 4? God, slippery little buggers. Alright, and there's the 4. Alright, so let's get processing the dice. First thing up is a 3. My God, my fingers are dry today. 3. And the 3 is right here. Let's take a look at it. Alright, and the 3 is we can move Gimli 0, 1, or 2. Let's go to the top of the board. I think we are going to move them 2. And by them, I mean Gimli and his axe, of course. So 1, 2, he's almost to Gondor. Alright, we got some more dice to look after. Alright, and now we have Aragorn going 4. So he's going to motor on up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, to a safe location. And then speaking of a 4, we have the 4. Ooh! The 4 is, yes, the lovely Uruk-hai. For each Uruk-hai at Isengard, so we're going to be doing 5 battles, and we're going to be losing a courage for each lost battle. And if we win at least one battle, we can remove one Uruk-hai from the location. So, yeah. Let's get to the dice tray. We're going to be rolling 5 times. Alright, the same kind of setup as last time. So we'll use the red for losses, and we'll use the blue for successes. Alright, let's get rolling the dice, and Merry and Pippin for the win. So we get 1 success. That means we're not going to have... Our second attack is the Gandalf. We can ditch the Gandalf card, but we're not going to. We're going to take 1 loss. Come on, no Gandalfs. Eye of Sauron 2. Ugh. Come on, you guys. Whoops. And we have Gimli. Alright, so that's 4. We got 1 more attack to go. And final attack is Aragorn pulling it off. So 3 successes. We will be able to get rid of 1 Uruk-hai, but we have to suffer 2 courage loss. So let's do it. Alright, the Uruk-hai, we're whittling them down a little bit. Now there's only 4 in there, but we have to lose 2 courage. 1, 2. Not great, not horrible. Alright, let's process our final die. And our final die is a green 4 for Legolas. Legolas is going to be moving 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, joining Aragorn right up there. Alright, we're going to do 1 more set of rules for this episode. We got our 2 black dice. This time we're going to take Frodo and Sam. And we will take Merry and Pippin. Alright, all the hobbits are going. Let's get to the dice tray and roll them up. Alright, it's Hobbit time. And we get a 4 and 5. Ooh, okay. 4 and 5. Alright, let's process this. Alright, if we process the 5, we get Grond, the foe hammer, which is going to do 3, knock 3 off our courage. I don't think so. I think we're going to fight the Uruk-hai again. So we're going to fight them again. Ugh, there's only 4 of them this time. Yeah. And we will have 1, 2, 3. We will have Merry and Pippin move forward. They'll be joining Gimli. Alright. We have the Fellowship, we have the black die, and we will have, I guess we'll use Legolas. Alright, let's roll this up. Another roll. And we get, okay, let's figure this one out. Alright, we have a 2, which is Orc Hordes, and then we can move Legolas. He'll go beyond Gondor. I don't think we want to do that, so we're going to take Frodo and Sam and move them 3. Alright, we're going to get processing the dice. Yes, we do have an Uruk-hai battle once again. They are just dogging us. And there we go, Uruk-hai. So we have 3 plus the leader. That's 4 rolls. Everybody's on the track and ahead of Frodo and Sam. So let's get to the dice tray and roll up 4 attacks. Alright, 4 attacks. The first one is Gimli. So we have 1 success. Our second one is Merry and Pippin. Yes, let's get a whole bunch of successes. And our third one is the Gandalf. We don't want to lose the Gandalf card, so we do have 1 loss. And our final is Gimli again. I think Gimli's got a higher count this time than Legolas. So there we go. So we have 3 successes, and we only lose 1 on the courage track, and we do get to remove 1 more Uruk-hai. Okay, we lose 1 on the courage track, which is not great, but we do knock out another Uruk-hai. So now there's only 2 plus the leader in there. Alright, let's get looking at the rest of the dice for this turn. Alright, and we have a purple 4 for Merry and Pippin. They're going to be moving 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're joining Gimli with the doors of Minas Tirith and Gondor. And up next we have a 2. We're going to have another battle. So the 2 is this one. It is Orc Hordes, an overwhelming force. Let's hope we don't lose, because we're going to lose 2 courage if we get defeated by these guys. Let's get to the dice tray and roll up that battle. Yes, everybody is ahead of Frodo and Sam. Oh, Sauron, you suck. Alright, so we get the eye, which is an immediate loss. We lose 2 more courage. And that bites. 1, 2. Holy jumping. This is not good. Wow. Okay, that was a horrible orc battle that we had. We did better against the Uruk-hai, but wow, we got mangled by the orc hordes. And finally, we have Frodo and Sam now leaving Helm's Deep, moving, 3. I didn't even, why am I doing this? 1, 2, 3. And they We lose another courage. So we're down to the Galadriel spot. That was probably a bad choice, but it is what it is. And that is where we're going to wrap up our episode today. So I'm going to zoom out and we're going to wrap it up. Alright, that will wrap up our episode for today. So we've fought a bunch of Uruk-hai. We've lost a lot of courage. Wow, we are far, far down the track. But that is why we did keep the Galadriel card, because we can, wherever we are, we can always put it to the Galadriel spot. We also have Treebeard kicking around. He can give us 2 courage just by being present. So there is that. That is actually pretty good. And we also, let's not forget, let's look at these cards. We also have Faramir, so we can advance the Ring Bearer 2 to 4 steps beginning of a turn, which is pretty awesome. And we have Arwen. Oh, we should have used her to negate. No, we're not going to. We want her to negate anything that's the Ringwraith symbols, because we only have 3 left. And so far, we've been dodging the Nazgul like crazy. Up until... We got to get to Gondor, though, and we got to get to Minas Morgul. We got to get the ring into Mount Doom. Ooh, this is a tough game. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, and likes. This is Lord of the Rings, Adventure to Mount Doom. And we'll see what happens in the following episodes. And we'll see you then.